and not just making noises.
Yeah.
I gave you
the long piece.
Yeah.
BU, and BU was the
Longer.
long piece. This is the long piece. Now, the UK that you are trying to find is the
Short.
short piece, and the BK is the
Whole.
whole. So, I'm going to start with these two. Now, I'm going to fill them in. So, if I'm using the short and, let's see, hang on, I can't do those two. Because I don't have a formula for long and short.
Yep.
I'm going to have to do long and the whole. You got to start with something. You only have a formula for a short and a whole, or a long and a whole. I don't have a formula for a short and a long. Not in the same formula. So I'm going to have to do these two first. Okay, so plug these two in to your formula. So what's our formula? It's the long equals 2/3 times the whole.
So we need a
So
subtract.
what can I plug in? What can I plug into this formula?
2/3. See, like what you can do is
Do you divide?
what he said. You can divide.
Let's try this again. Can I plug in for the long or can I plug in for the whole?
Long.
I can plug in for the long. So put your 16 right here. Y'all are not doing this the way you're supposed to do. I did this on the others, and then I plugged them in. Y'all are just trying to plug in here every time. You don't get this every time. It would be nice, but you don't. They gave you the long. Put that in here. So now, you got 16 equals 2/3.
It's 24. It's a whole.
If y'all, I'm not happy. I'm trying to explain to others. We're not just going to keep yelling out. And if some of you don't get busy writing, I'm going to give you the whole lesson to complete by yourself, and I'm going to go sit my butt down. Now pick your pencil up and start writing. Some of you don't even have this written down. Now my whole is what?
24.
I don't know that yet. All I'm doing is filling in. But what is representing the whole?
16.
The BK. You got to actually play along here. It's very much like an equation. The whole, I don't know. It is represented by the line BK. This is what I know at this point. Can I multiply these two?
Miss Evelyn,
Yes.
can I go? I'm at the doctor's office, so can I leave?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, bye.
Hey, when did any of y'all get asked about anything? I'm about to start writing. Now, can I multiply these two? No. So if I can't multiply them, I need to get rid of this. I need these two together. So how do I fix this? It's real simple. Move this over here. Now, am I just going to pick that 2/3 up and move it? No. What do I need to do when I move it?
Divide.
It's a fraction.
Opposite, right? No.
I need to flip it.
Oh yeah. He said that.
I need to flip this upside down and put it on the other side. Now I will have something like what I had before. So, it's not 16 times 2/3, it's now 16 times what?
3/3. 3/2.
3/2. 3/2. Because when it moves, it's got to flip upside down. So now if you multiply this in your calculator, you should end up with, what? 24. So now it's telling me that BK equals 24. But you've got to fill this in first. Some of you are refusing to fill this in. You are just immediately jumping into the problem. You're not writing long equals 2/3 times the whole, and you don't know where you're putting your pieces. You're just trying to plug them in the same way that I plugged them in a while ago. They don't all work that way. So if I do not give you the whole, you cannot do it like we did a while ago. You've got to know if you're dealing with the long piece, the short piece, if you're dealing with the whole piece, so you know which formula to use. If you do not, you don't know what to plug in for. If they are side by side, great. But if they're not, you've got to flip it and move it to this other side. And then it works perfectly well. Now that we know BK, which is the whole, how are we going to find the short piece? Now that I know this is 24, how do I find that missing one?
24 minus 16.
I just subtract it. So all I'd have to do to find the other one is just 24 minus 16. So it tells me that UK would be 8. So if I can usually get one of them, the second one is not any problem. But you've got to know how to find the first one. And neither one of these, actually, of any of the three that we've done, none of them have involved actual letters yet. So, question.
No, man.
And I'm telling you, if you come back in here tomorrow and you didn't do this, there will be a quiz waiting on you. You have homework. You better try it.
Where is it?
To Miss Sullivan.
Wait a minute.
Miss Sullivan.
Yes.
Is it okay that I just did 16 divided by 8, by 2 divided by 3? That equaled 24 as well.
16 divided by 2 divided by 3.
No, 2 over 3, sorry. It was a 2 over...
Well, 2 over 3, dividing by 2 over 3 is the same thing as multiplying by 3 over 2.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it was okay the way I did it.
Because, I mean, that's exactly what dividing by a fraction is. Dividing by a fraction is really multiplying by the reciprocal.
So she's not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
I was just making sure that I wasn't going to end up doing it and messing up.
No, that's the same thing. Okay. Now, let's look at some of these with some letters.
Wait, huh?
Huh?
One thing, be ready for this.
Well, that's too bad. You're going to get them anyway. Because letters aren't going anywhere. Same page that you just copied this from. Okay. Here's our new one. Well, actually, that's not the one I want yet.
Huh?
That's not the one I want.
You're right. We don't need
Because that was just like the other ones. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted the ones with letters.
We don't need that.
Yeah, we do. We want the ones with letters. Cause if you go home and you have letters, then we're gonna have a problem.
Take the letters off for the homework.
Nope. You can't escape the letters.
How many,
Sorry.
things we got for homework?
Couldn't tell you at this moment.
Oh,
Huh?
nothing.
Miss Sullivan, how did you
Uh-huh.
like Halloween?
What?
How did you like Halloween?
No, it was just another day. All I do is sit at home and watch football all day. Huh?
Well, you should watch football or you should watch something else.
Well, I did watch Medea later that night.
Not
But,
the bang.
My family watched the night before Christmas and Christmas, right?
but I'm sorry, football comes first. I'm sorry.
Well, you're a football fan.
You're a football player. Wow.
Not a football player, football fan.
Actually, I can work. I don't know.
So,
Huh?
Who's your favorite team?
Really? Did you just ask me that?
I'm talking about, I know Alabama, but like, you know,
are you a football fan though?
Only if I had to.
Oh,
I did watch it yesterday.
you don't got no favorite?
What's your favorite?
Are you trying to distract me from our job?
No, like,
I think you are.
legit question.
Let's go to
So out of the
bed.
Corpse Bride and
Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll worry about the letters later.
Yay.
Now, go ahead and copy this one on your paper.
That's a hard.
Copy this one onto your paper.
I think I'm ready now.
Okay. Now, what they did was they went ahead and marked all your sides congruent. Just like we know they are. Once that median comes across, we now know that it divides the sides into two congruent pieces. So they went ahead and marked those. So you've got your three medians. You now have your congruent pieces. Now, they've given you two in the picture. There's one more that they have not given you, and I will give it to you in just a second. So go ahead and make it look just like this, or as close as you can anyway. So make sure that you mark AU as 16, make sure you mark BU as 12, and then there's one more that I'm going to give you that they did not tell you. So, is that everything done?
Yes.
Why are your marks not on the sides? Because if you have to find any sides,
That's a little bit too much.
well, I'm sorry. If they ask you to find them, at some point you gotta be able to find them. And if you don't mark them, then you're not gonna know. What? No.
I remember homework passes.
Huh?
I remember homework passes.
First you got to behave and not sleep and do everything that I
I don't do
asked
that.
without complaining
I don't
and
sleep.
everything.
I've been doing
And I don't
that, I
complain.
still got homework.
So I,
You just try to distract.
I deserve one of those.
Okay, now in this picture, they are also telling you that CF from here to here, this line, the entire length is going to be 18. So write that on your paper.
The entire length of
The entire length of CF, that entire line right here, is 18. So you now have three numbers. AU is 16, BU is 12, and CF is gonna be 18.
So what does it need us to find?
That's what I'm about to tell you. So in your picture, you now have these.
Not the huh?
What are those?
Get to it. You need to find UD. You need to find EU. You need to find CU, AD, UF, and BE.
How about like you?
How about you start working?
Where do I start?
Well, I would start with something. Well, where is UD?
Start with number 7.
Where is UD?
Right, they were next to each other.
Sword.
I mean, you've got to know what they're giving you as to what you can actually work with. So UD is on the same line as AU, but one is the short and one is the long. Now, what you can do is you can plug in. So if you have AU, what you can do is if you want to do AU is 16. I know that is what piece? Short, long, whole, what? What is AU? Long. So that is my long. So if I take my form, which is my long equals 2/3 of the whole, and plug it in like I did a while ago, I can find the whole length. So where is this 16 going to go? It's going to go right here where it says long. So it's going to be 16 equals 2/3, and whole, you know, whole in this case is going to be what? AD? So, how did I tell you to solve it if you have one on each side? You gotta flip it and put it on the other side. So, move it over here and flip it. So it's now 16 times 3/2. So if you multiply that and solve it, you're going to immediately know what AD is. Huh?
Hold up.
Well, it can't be 25 because we got a 16.
It might be.
Hang on. You're not telling me the answer. You're writing this down. Where is AD? Which one of the problems was it?
I don't know.
Which one is AD? It's 4. It just shifted on me. It's number 4. So when you solve it, plug it in for number 4. Now, if I know the long piece and I know the whole line, so right here, I know this long piece, I know what the whole line is. So, how can I find UD? Huh? Subtract it. If you know this piece, which is 16, you just found AD, which is the whole line. So all you got to do is subtract them, and you know what UD is. And UD is which one? It's number 1. So I just found number 1 and number 4.
How many of these are there? There's 6.
Yes, there are 6. So now you're going to do the same thing with the others. So now, if the next one I go to, they told me I knew BU. So BU is right here. BU is this piece. So again, is that the long piece or is that the short piece?
Long.
That is the long piece. So do the exact same thing that we just did. So if BU is 12, and that is the long piece, one more time, plug it back in. Long equals 2/3 of the whole. So that means it's going to say 12 equals 2/3, and the whole would be what? BE?
Let's not go upside down. That's 3.
Hush. So now, we've already done this now for the 3rd time. How do I get rid of this if they're on opposite sides? Flip it and move it to the other side. So now it's going to be 12 times 3/2. When you solve that, it's going to tell you what BE equals. So you're going to know what BE equals if you solve that. And BE is which one? Number 6. It's right there. It's number 6. So you can't always do these in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sometimes you gotta just do them as you solve them. So now, I have BU. I now have BE, which is the whole line. So how am I gonna find that little bitty piece of EU? Subtract them again. So if you subtract the answer you just found and that 12, you're going to know what the answer to number 2 is.
So you said 18. That answer.
Wait, what are we subtracting from?
The answer you just found, which was BE, and the 12 that they told you
Well, what for though?
to find EU, number 2.
Thank you.
So now, that leaves me what to solve? That should leave me number 3 and number 5. So that would be CU and UF. And I'm assuming you're going to do the exact same thing.
Probably.
Because everything that they're giving you is either long or is a whole. But do you understand what you're having to do here? Because if I give this to you tonight, I don't want you to come back tomorrow and say, well, I didn't know how to do any of it. Because I just stood right here and walked you through 4 out of the 6. You have to do this. I'm telling you. If you will write this information down every single time, it will help you. But when some of you are so lazy, you won't even write this down, there is absolutely nothing I can do. Huh? We solved for number 1, yes, we'd already solved it.
Do you want it?
Hey, get quiet. Why are we talking? I just got through saying be quiet, then we continue to talk. Hang on. When we solved for UD, we did that one after we found AD. So did you get number 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so all you had to do to get that one was do whatever you got for number 4 and take away the 16.
Okay.
So if you subtract those two, you immediately know what UD is. And it's almost identical to what I just gave you. There is absolutely no reason why you can't do this, or why you cannot at least try it and come back tomorrow with something on that piece of paper. If you come back tomorrow and you say, well, I didn't even do it, that is not going to make me very happy. And I don't mean come back tomorrow